part we hadn't fallen in love yet, so I don't remember the date specifically. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thanks for joining. In today's video, we're going to cover a topic that everybody has been asking about. So you can see I have my husband here with me. His name is Hui.
Hello.
Yes, so we're gonna tell you guys all about the story of how we met. Before we start, we just have a special message we want to share with you guys.
So if you have been following the news, you know that there have been a lot of natural disasters going on around the world, like the series of hurricanes hitting America, or the earthquake in Mexico last week, or the flood in India and surrounding area. So we are fortunate enough to be living in inland New Jersey, where we don't get affected by any of those, but there are a lot of people who are really struggling to get their lives back on track, and so we think that any little bit would help. So if you're able, we will be include a link to the Red Cross where you can donate if you could.
Yeah, so that'll just be right down below in the description. If you can do just like $1, that's great. There's a lot of people in need, so we just wanted to make that message before we started the video. So now, without further ado, let's get started on this interesting story. So when did it all take place, honey?
2010.
Let's actually, we're gonna tell different parts. So maybe we remember things differently. It's been a long time. It's been 7 years, right? 7 years.
Yes.
7 years ago, we knew each other for the first time. This past week is when we met.
This past week?
Well, like the first week of September, right? Or maybe the last week of August?
Yeah.
We technically met.
Yeah.
So let's start there. It must have been like September 1st or something.
Yeah, first week of
Sorry, this part we hadn't fallen in love yet, so I don't remember the date specifically.
Yeah.
So here's my story, my side of this part. So one day I went to hang out with the international students on our campus, and I just, I wanted to meet the people. And I remember in the like courtyard on the campus, they were all there playing this game. What's it called? Zaponaika. So I came and joined the game and just like hung out with them. But I looked over and I said, "Who that cutie over there?" That one. And so like, it wasn't anything back then. Like I just saw him and I was like, "Oh, he's cute." And you?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same story. Yeah. Yeah, I remember. I don't remember what you were wearing, but I remember what I was wearing.
What?
Yeah.
What were you wearing?
It's just like a black tee.
Yeah.
With some.
And your tight pants.
Yeah.
He used to be so, what's the word? Styling? Teenage? I don't know.
Back in the day.
Back in the day. And your hair was like gelled up, I remember too. So he had like the gelled hair and some sneakers. You were cool. So yeah, that was the first time I saw him. And then I remember on my birthday, you wrote on my Facebook wall, right?
Yeah.
You recall that?
Chúc mừng sinh nhật.
Chúc mừng sinh nhật.
Yeah.
And I was so excited, even though I don't speak Vietnamese. Like at that time I didn't even know what the heck that was. I was completely clueless. So now, here we are 7 years later, 7 Chúc mừng sinh nhật later, here we are. So that was in September. Then the story really starts in October. Do you remember the date? I'm gonna quiz him. I didn't tell him anything.
No.
Okay, so he's not even gonna try. You can't even guess the date and then I'll confirm it.
Date about what?
The date we went to the movies.
Not even gonna try.
Okay, he's not gonna try.
Paranormal Activity 2.
Yes, he remembers the movie. October 27th.
Tuesday.
Was it Tuesday?
I don't know, it was Tuesday morning.
Well, I don't recall that part. But anyways, October, we can look at the calendar. October 27, 2010. Our friends wanted to go, right? Or something? Something happened. Aurea, somebody in our group wanted to go to the movies to see this movie, Paranormal Activity 2, which is supposed to be scary. And so then I was gonna go, and I invited this guy to come along. I said, come to the movies with us. And he said, okay, I'll come. And I'm telling this by my recollection for now, just maybe you remember things differently. So I'm gonna tell my part and then he can tell his part. So I remember I asked him to come to the movies, kind of like a group, like not like a date, but just like come with us, we'll go to the movies, and he said yes. Then later in the day, he said he didn't tell me, I heard he wasn't gonna come anymore, and I got this weird feeling. I was like, no, he has to come. So then I like begged him to come, and I don't, like, honestly, I swear to you, I don't know why I did that. But like, obviously, I feel like maybe this is why, because we're meant to be, but the thing is, I was like, please come, please come. And then he finally came to the movies. So you didn't want to come because your friend said it was bad?
I remember not wanting to come halfway through the day, but I don't remember exactly why. Yeah, I do remember.
You were trying to get away from my fate.
Yeah, I do remember you was like, oh, you should come, you have to come.
Yeah, see? So I was like, you have to come. So then he came with us to the movies. And I remember the movie was supposed to be scary, but it wasn't really scary. We were just like talking and laughing through the whole thing. Like it was just like a little bit jumpy, but not really too scary.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this part because this is my recollection. I remember I looked at him and like he was looking at me for like a second, and then I don't know, like my heart kind of jumped a little bit, which sounds really cheesy and lame, but I swear it happened. I swear on all my soul and everything.
Was that in the middle of the movie?
Yes. So that is the moment for me that I was like, oh my god. And yeah, but I didn't say anything. So we watched the movie, we were leaving, and this poor guy almost lost his wallet in the theater.
Yeah, my wallet fell out of my pocket. It was on the back pocket. So it fell out. So by the time we got out of the movie theater, which was around midnight or past midnight, it's a late night show. So then I had to go back to find my wallet, and so it's like, you know, just a scary movie, right? And then I came back and I was like, where's my wallet? So I had to look under all the seats, and I was thinking nothing better be jumping at me right now.
After the movie.
So then I got my wallet, nothing happened, and then as I was walking out of the movie theater, it was like, I don't remember exactly, it was like around the corner or something like that, and then one of the staff, he jumped me. And I jumped for like a millisecond, and I was like, dude, what? So then...
That's very unrelated. So then you came out, and I was waiting for this guy to get his wallet. And then we left. We walked back to the campus. He lived in like one dormitory, I lived in a different one, so he left, and then I went to my place.
Okay.
And then I was getting ready for bed, and my friend, she also lived in the dorm, Julie. Hi Julie, if you're watching. So I just remember she was like, ooh, Audrey, you and Huy were so cute today. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like,
we're just friends.
Yeah, like we're just friends. Like I was just trying to pretend like it was nothing. But then I was like, oh my god. And I was just like kind of excited when I went to bed. I don't know. I just remember it was like quite a funny time. And then after that, we started talking.
More and more.
More and more.
But it was not I think purposely we were sort of wasn't sure where it was heading, or so we were trying to keep it like a low key kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think from our perspective, we thought it was low key, but it wasn't, because of people from the outside looking in at how we was, you know, the interaction, the interaction between us started to change a little bit, and people took notice. I don't know if anything came up to you, but I think so. Our group of friends, we usually go to get food in the dining hall, and sometimes breakfast. If some certain people have morning classes, Mrs. over here never get breakfast ever, because she doesn't like to wake up that early. So usually just me and a few other friends in the group go there at like 7:30 or 7:20 to get breakfast before 8 a.m. And then lo and behold, boom, she show up. And then Jamie, I think Jamie, obviously being Audrey's roommate, took notice right away. And I think one time she made a comment of, "Oh, you're going to breakfast now. and that's one of the small things like that. Like maybe we don't think about, but other people start to notice. Or when we go to the dining hall to eat, it's like, you know, when you try to play it cool, but you know, when you get, so our group is around usually like 10 people. 10 people. So we get like a big table to all sit together. But then we would like secretly, quietly, without trying to make much of noises, always sit together,
yeah,
like next to each other.
I remember we would like quickly put our coats on the chair.
Yeah, it's like, this is my seat, this is her seat. But like, we're still trying to be like, okay, we talk to other people.
Yeah.
We're not talking to each other, so it's not. But I think one of the breaks later on, when Becca, when we was, I think, loading her stuff into Sean's car for her to go to the airport to go home. She lives in Connecticut.
Becca?
Yeah.
Becca doesn't live in Connecticut?
Or I mean Wisconsin.
Jamie?
I mean Wisconsin.
Okay,
yeah, Wisconsin.
You're getting all confused. He's getting all confused.
And then, you know, we're just hugging and saying bye. You were already gone before that. And Becca told me, you know, have a good break and don't text Audrey too much.
Which break was that? Was it Thanks?
It could have been Thanksgiving. Could have been Thanksgiving.
Because Thanksgiving break is when we started dating, I think. November 21st, 2010 is when we officially started to be a couple and people like found out. And do you remember the Valentine? Do you remember that moment?
I remember him, but I don't, what moment?
So I remember we were walking, it was just after we kind of like were officially like dating and people found out. I remember we were walking across like the lawn. I think it was like after dinner time. We were holding hands, and one of the exchange teachers from France who was in our group saw us, and he was just like, "Oh, finally!" Like, because he knew.
Everyone
knew, but we were just trying to be like, "Oh no,
we're just friends."
Like we're just friends and everything. So it was kind of a funny start, and I just remember like always trying to find an excuse to hang out. So like, was it you needed a button sewed or something?
Yeah.
What was that? And then I was like, oh, I want to do it for you. For like nothing but just to see him. Or stuff like that. And then
learning languages, I remember at the time you used like, oh, I wanted to learn Vietnamese. Okay, yeah, I'll teach you. So then we just kind of like, the whole group was hanging, and then we're just like, okay, we'll go over here to learn Vietnamese. But maybe we were not that subtle.
No,
after
I don't think so. I think everybody knew. And then the fun thing was it was almost Christmas time, and we did a Secret Santa, which if you don't know what that is, it's you draw a name, and then whoever's name you get, you have to get them like gifts, but you can't tell them it's from you, and they have to try to guess who it's from. So of course, I got him for the Secret Santa, so I had to come up with some gifts to give him. And what was it? The cookies?
It was the
shortbread cookies.
Yeah, shortbread cookie.
And maybe some candy or something. And then I knitted him a scarf, a blue and white scarf, which he still wears today.
I still do.
I'm gonna insert a photo here of him wearing his scarf and us wearing our ugly sweaters on Christmas. I think this was actually one of the first photos we took together, like ever.
Is it a group photo?
No, it's just you and me. That's what I'm saying. The first photo of just you and me. His hair was extremely long. I hated it, but I didn't say anything because in the beginning of dating, you don't want to say anything. So I just let it slide. But now you better not. This is getting cut. When? Tomorrow?
This week.
This week? He's gonna get his hair cut. But back then I was like, oh, I like him. He's so cute. I'm not gonna say anything. Cut your hair. So that was back then. And then what else should we highlight? That's how we met, which is the point of this video, in case you were wondering. So the short answer, we went to the same school, hung out with the same friends, and then we met.
Yeah. And then I think it's just start from that point on, which is constantly hanging out until now.
Yes, which is kind of weird to think of.
We still are, yeah.
Like,
it's some things that you don't consciously notice, but it's there. So what I mean by that is, you know, normally now, in the evening when I come home from work and she come home from school or work, we just like cook and then we eat and then clean up, and then I sort of do my thing. I either play some games or watch some shows, or she does the same, or she doesn't play games, watch some YouTubes and whatnot. So we just like kind of separately, but then once the other is not there, like last month when you went camping.
Yeah, I had to go for
camping.
A work thing overnight.
Yeah, so that night I came home and I ate, I cleaned up, and then I sat down on my hammock to watch my shows, and I looked to my left, which is the couch where she usually
This is so sad.
and no one was there, and I was like, wow, that's empty. So
yeah, it's like the time when, for me, I like to explain it, is the time we're supposed to be apart, like when we're at work or school or whatever, it's normal. But the time that we're normally together, when we're not together, you can completely like notice, and it's really sad. Like, you would think I would get sick of this face being like next to me every day, all day. I literally was saying how when I went on that camping trip, that was the first like overnight that I've been away from you in years.
Yes,
years. Since like 2013, oh no, 14.
Probably.
Because back then, like, maybe you visit Gary and I was at my home. We are together all the time.
Yeah.
But we don't get sick of it. I'm still happy to hang out with you. So that's, I think we've said enough.
Yeah.
If you want to know more, maybe we can do another video like this someday, but I just really wanted to make this video because so many people were curious about our beginning story. So there you have it. That's the story of how we met. I hope you enjoy it. Comment down below if there's something else that you want to know and we didn't cover in this video, and perhaps we'll make another video sometime in the future. Any upcoming videos. Next week I'll have my Q&A part 2 video coming out, so if you didn't get your questions answered in part 1, tune in for part 2. If you haven't already subscribed yet, please feel free to subscribe by clicking the button down below. Click the bell for notifications, and I will see you in the next video. You want to say bye?
Bye.
Bye! Okay, that's a wrap. Now let's go cook.